King Director of Athletic Communications, here with head softball coach Jake Cockerham. Thanks for joining us today, Jake.
Travis, you're welcome. Thanks for having me.
Yeah, you kind of have a unique perspective on all this, as you guys played at home against Carson Newman on the day the NCAA kind of stopped all competition and stuff like that. Can you reflect on that day and kind of how that was?
Yeah, it was Thursday. It was March 12th. I remember the date, and we were playing Carson Newman, and I think before the game there was some talk about things were maybe getting shut down from a sports standpoint, and professional sports, and even some college, and I think everybody knew it was maybe a possibility. And then even between games against Carson Newman, there was even more, and you started hearing about the College World Series and everything being canceled. So, we didn't know what that meant for us. It was difficult, like, to maybe communicate with our team and not, like, get them too worried or focused on that. Yeah. But to focus on playing the game, which we did go out. We won the game, the second game. But we did talk between the game against Carson Newman about, hey, let's play like this is our last game, because for all we know, it could be. We won the game afterwards. A decision still hadn't been made, but it was going to be made that night. And what we said was just have faith that we're gonna take the field again, and let's be ready, and let's just hope and pray for the best. And it was disappointing later on that weekend as everything changed, and our season was suspended and then ultimately canceled. But ultimately, it was the right thing to do, and I think all of our kids, they know that. So.
Yeah. Talk about that next day. I'm sure you kind of a team meeting, got to see everybody then kind of before they left, and kind of some last parting words before everyone kind of went their separate ways.
Yeah. I mean, I don't know that we had an official, like, team meeting. I up until that Monday, I think, I genuinely had faith that we would, continue to play and that we were going to see each other again. But it all happened so fast. You said it best. I mean, we went from 100 to 0 just like that. And, from playing to the next thing everybody's going home, and everybody's, kind of isolating themselves. And so it was a little bit of a challenge to get everybody back together. And so there was initial calls to everybody, and I talked to everybody. There was a little group on campus that Saturday, and I got a chance to talk with most of them, face to face. But since then, we just had some phone conversations and just talking about how school's going mostly, and how they're doing, isolated at home.
Yeah. What does this last month look like for you? Because you'd have been playing 3-4 days a week, Friday, Saturday, Sunday, a couple days during the week. How has that changed what you've done, and how have you transitioned into that?
Oh, it's so different. I cannot remember an April, a March and an April where, I haven't been on a ball field, coaching, or, just like we said earlier, going 100 mile an hour. But as a coach, I've treated this as just an extension of the off season, and the off season for me has always been about, evaluating yourself and your program and what can you do better. And, you focus on the present, but you look forward to the next season, and how are we going to be better next season, and hopefully keep providing good experience for our kids. That's been probably my one big thing, along with recruiting, which recruiting's 24/7. That's always going on regardless. But it has freed up a little bit of more time for me to focus more on that than if we were playing 6-8 games a week.
Yeah, you talk about the program. How's that been? There's no games to watch in terms of recruiting. How's that been going? Watching people, trying to get people to come here, potential student athletes. What's been going on there, and talk about your program a little bit.
Yeah, it's been a challenge with the dead period and not being able to do campus visits and things like that. We've been doing some virtual tours, and just still been reaching out to kids that we've seen play in last summer or, in previous seasons. But, reaching out to them and seeing what their interest might be in King and hopefully getting them excited about our school and getting to know them. I mean, that's what recruiting is getting to know people and then, selling your school and helping them see why it can be a good fit for them. So we're still able to do that. There's just some limitations with them coming on campus and for obvious reasons. So.
Yeah, you bet. Anything else you want to add here today?
No, I mean, this is a difficult time. It's a crazy time. I think, if you're an athlete out there, if you're a coach out there, I mean, there's really two ways you can respond to this. Is you can with a good attitude or a bad attitude, and I encourage everybody to stay at it. Especially if you're an athlete, you can look at this time of isolation or by yourself to really find ways to perfect your game while you're at home. Pick up a ball, find a way to make yourself better, or you can sit around and not do that. So you look at it as maybe a competitive advantage that you can gain later on, or something that can potentially keep you from accomplishing your goals later. So choice is up to us, but our health is the number one thing, and we've got to do our part as humanities. That way everybody can get back on a field, on a court, on the ice, whatever it is, as soon as possible.
You bet. Well, thank you, Coach, and stay safe.
Travis, appreciate it. Take care, bud.